Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Dr. T, living your best life here in the Philippines. Wanted to give you a little update and compare, contrast. I did this on another video, but I'm going to do top 4 reasons why living in Cebu is better than Bohol. And then I'm going to do a follow-up video on top 4 reasons why living in Bohol is better than Cebu. And then kind of wrap that one up with my thoughts on which I prefer and why. So I have lived in both, and I still have a condo over in Lapu-Lapu, Mactan, Newtown, which is just outside of Cebu. So I can definitely compare living in both. I still go back and forth to Cebu. I live most of the time now in Bohol. But so, all right, let's jump into the top 4 reasons why I think maybe it depends on the person living in Cebu is better. So first one I have is dating. And let me explain that one. Like I talked about in other videos, that's probably one of the #1 reasons most of you guys are coming to the Philippines is for dating. And I say this because honestly, just the sheer amount of volume of people over in Cebu versus Bohol. Cebu has, it's called IT Park. You're probably familiar with it if you've done some research on Cebu City. It's where all the call centers are and one of the big malls. And so there's just a lot of people down there, just a lot of young ladies, and a lot of them are working in the call centers, etc. And there's just a lot more down there. There's Starbucks and restaurants and all this kind of stuff. So a lot more foot traffic. And even over in Lapu-Lapu and Mactan, Newtown, there's some big call centers down there. And there's just a lot more people out. And it's just more conducive to that type of environment, where Bohol is very sort of isolated. Yeah, you have Alona Beach, and there's a lot of people down in Alona Beach, but it's very different environments. And I just think that the dating vibe and environment is better over in Cebu. Bohol, like I said, you have Alona Beach, but I typically stay away from Alona Beach. I've done videos on it. I'm actually not a big fan of it. It's actually where a lot of the prostitutes hang out in Alona Beach. It's kind of like Mango Square over in Cebu City, if you've heard of that. It's like one of the big areas where a lot of the prostitutes hang out in Cebu City. It kind of has that vibe, kind of a dirty grossness vibe to it, honestly, in my opinion. So I don't go there much. I go there to eat during the daytime or early evening, and that's about it. And a lot of the people that go to the bars in Alona are, and I talked about this on another video, my bar girl versus province girl comparison. A lot of the girls that are going to the bars down to Alona Beach area are bar girls. And again, not lumping every girl that goes to a bar into that category, but you know, I kind of have my opinions and thoughts on that, and maybe check out that video and my comparison there. But Cebu is just much more the vibe where, like I said, a lot of these girls are working. They're working decent jobs in the call centers and these businesses in around the Cebu City area or Lapu-Lapu. So, all right. So the other one that kind of ties along with that would just be options. And this goes for a lot of different things. If you've seen some of my other videos, I bought several different motorcycles here. Other than buying a scooter, you're not buying one. Well, correction, the R3. I bought a Yamaha R3, and I did find one of those here in Bohol, but that was actually hard to find. Anything bigger than a 300cc motorcycle, you're going to have to go to Cebu City. That's where all the bigger motorcycle shops are, and I've done tours on them. Ducati, Triumph, all those big dealers are over there, and that's where they have the bigger CC motorcycles. So if you're looking to do something like that, even cars, there's a few car dealerships here, really limited supply, etc. So cars, motorcycles, and really just everything. Like, for example, I was looking for a shop to tune the ECU on my motorcycle because I changed the exhaust. Can't find one here in Bohol. Have to take it over to Cebu, which is a pain in the ass. I got to make a couple-day trip of it, go to the ferry, etc., etc. So just options. And then, of course, restaurant options. Endless over in Cebu. There's a lot of restaurants down in Alona Beach area because that's where the tourist area is in Bohol. So there is a lot of good options down there. But there's just, again, just more quantity over in Cebu. And the options, depending on where you live in Cebu, if you live in Mactan, Newtown, it's real conducive to walking. and over in IT Park area. If I lived over in IT Park, I probably wouldn't even have a scooter because you could just kind of walk everywhere or take taxis, and the options are just conducive to that. Where in Bohol, you have to have a scooter or motorcycle to honestly to live here. You couldn't live normal here in Bohol without that. So the options are just closer there. And then the other big one would be the mall. I'm not much into like buying clothes and clothes shopping like that, but there are times, right? Christmas, and sometimes you need some shoes, you need whatever. Over in Cebu, you have the big, really kind of pretty, honestly, high-end, fancy malls with anything you can think of that you would need or want, you can find there in Cebu. Here in Bohol, in Tagbilaran, there's 2 malls. One of them, the BQ Mall, is absolute crap. I went there, and it honestly has a vibe of like a flea market, in my opinion. Like, it's terrible. There's nothing I could possibly want to buy there. There's one other mall that's decent, and you could find shoes and clothes and stuff like that there, but again, really limited. Like, if you want something special, you want some Converse, or you want something particular, you're going to have to go to Cebu, which is again going to require you going over there and a ferry and a couple-day trip and staying in hotels, etc. So that's a big positive for Cebu. And the other one, and this may sound weird and it might be a pro or con depending on how you look at this one, is expat community. There's a lot of foreigners living here in Bohol, but they kind of keep to themselves. You'll see them out. I'll see them out at restaurants. They're not real social. You kind of get one extreme or the other on expats, I've noticed in the Philippines. You either get the guys that really want to talk to other foreigners, or you get the guys that come here, they don't want to talk to anybody. They just have blinders on. They'll see another foreigner. They don't even want to look at you or say hi to you. Where it seemed like when I lived over in Mocktown, Newtown, I had instant sets of friends over there. I don't know if it's just people were friendlier, but it seemed to be, I think, because you've seen the same people every day. I lived in a big high-rise condo. I've done videos from there. You've probably seen it. A lot of the expats lived in that condo because that was one of the nicer buildings. So a lot of us lived in the same building. You see the same people all the time. You go to the same coffee shops, Starbucks, etc., restaurants. You see the same people. So you end up hanging out with groups of people all the time. And it was honestly kind of nice because I kind of had my routine there where I'd come out and socialize with all my friends every day. Where here, honestly, I don't have that. I haven't really met many expats at all that I've actually talked to. Some guys in the gym, that's about it. So it's real hard to kind of branch out and meet people here. So that to me is a big drawback. I don't want to just hang out with expats, so that's not what I want either, but obviously it is kind of nice to sometimes socialize with people that speak your own language and kind of can relate a little better and things like that. So if you're kind of want some socialization, I guess I should say, other than with Filipino people and Filipinas, that Cebu is 10 times better in that regard than Bohol. I really haven't had a good experience relating to anyone other than Filipino and Filipinas here in Bohol. And the last one I would say is healthcare. So again, Bohol is a really small island, and I live on Panglao, which is a little island just over the bridge from Tagbilaran. So the big hospital is over in Tagbilaran. There's doctors here. I actually went to a dentist last week or the week before, and it was a legit dentist office. I was impressed. Western standards, clean, professional, modern, good dentist, etc. So not like you can't find it here, but it's less of it. And really what you have to be worried about is, because I'm driving the motorcycle every day all around, is emergencies. And I'm going to do another video on this later because I've seen ambulances here. If you can call it an ambulance, it literally looks like a tuk-tuk, which is like a scooter. It's basically a little bus. And I don't know what sort of life-saving capabilities or training they have aboard those things. It's not like Western standards that we're used to, where an ambulance, EMS, can literally save people's lives when they arrive on the scene. I'm not saying that they can't maybe do some of those things here. They just don't have the equipment, the resources for it, and they're coming from far away. So like here in Panglao, if I got in a bad motorcycle accident, who knows how long it's going to take for an ambulance to get here. And how well equipped they are, and they're going to have to take me over to the hospital in Tagbilaran, which is 20 minutes away, etc. So it's just kind of a nightmare there, where Cebu is a lot more modern and a lot more equipped to deal with that, and just a wide range of doctors and dentists and you name it, specialists over there. So healthcare, I'm young and healthy, and barring an emergency, I probably, hopefully, knock on wood, won't have to worry about those things. But so having said all that, why do I spend most of my time in Bohol? And again, I'll do a separate video on Bohol, because Bohol has some really good points about it, honestly, that I just ended up liking this place much more than I did in Cebu, even listing all those things about Cebu. It does make me want to go back, and I do go back to my condo and I spend a week, maybe sometimes at a time, over there. And when I'm there, I like it, but I'm also ready to get out of there, if that makes any sense, because the city life just does not quite sit well with me. It's kind of nice to visit. It's like Washington, D.C., maybe if you're from America, or New York City, right? It's like fun to visit, but I also want to come home. So that's kind of how my mindset is. So, but if you're a city person, you're definitely going to prefer that life versus this life over in the island life. So again, next video I'll be doing is top 4 reasons why I think Bohol is better than Cebu, and then I'll kind of wrap it up with my overall thoughts. All right, hope that helps, and like and subscribe, and see you guys later.